Hi, my name is John Mosebrook, and this is my commemorative speech. The title of my speech is My Dad, Past, Present, Future. My dad grew up on a small farm in western Virginia in a small town called Gladys. There they had a 200-acre farm which they grew cows on and sold the milk from them. They also had some pigs and chickens, just regular stuff they have on the farm. They also they did a lot of farming as far as growing hay and selling it, and corn for the silage to give to the cows, and they also had gardens that they planted that they would take the produce from to town and sell to make a little extra profit. My dad grew up, he had 3 brothers that were, 2 were older and 1 was younger than him. And I believe that's where my dad's work ethic came from, was when he would get up in the morning at 5 o'clock to go attend to the farm and then be at school at 9 o'clock so he could get his education. So I think that instilled a lot of discipline in him. Once he graduated from high school, he decided it was time to leave home, so he joined the Navy. And he did 6 years in the Navy. And while he was in the Navy, he was in Panama and Okinawa. After that, he got out of the Navy and moved back home to Virginia, where we all lived pretty close to my grandparents. I think we lived about 2-3 miles from my grandparents. That was it. And I remember growing up having to go out there and help on the farm. Every weekend we would go down there, and whatever my grandfather needed we would do. But this speech really isn't about me, it's about my father. So let me get back on point. My dad has always worked hard. His whole life he's just he's where the rubber meets the road, I guess you would say. He worked as a engineer in Virginia, and then he went to Bible school, and that he felt that he needed to go to Maine to help churches in Maine. So off we went to Maine. Well, once we got to Maine, my dad, because he didn't have a really formal education in anything other than doing pastoral type stuff, he got a job working at a shipbuilder, and I'm not sure he made all that much money because we lived pretty we were pretty poor growing up. There were Christmases where there was nothing under the tree, and I wouldn't say that was because we were poor, but it taught a lot of life lessons that you can have stuff, you can be happy even with nothing. After we lived in Maine for 2 years, we moved back to Pennsylvania, where my dad helped another church, and he got a job building fire trucks. So that was pretty cool, because as a kid, you always look up to the firemen and the policemen, but you really never know where this stuff comes from. So him working there, that made it great for me, because I was able to go and look at how all the fire trucks are built, from the bottom all the way to where they're going out to the firehouses. I moved away when I was 18 and I joined the Army. So I haven't lived with them since then. But my dad became the pastor of a church there, and he did that for a few years. I want to say maybe 12 years. And he finally decided it was time to retire, so he moved to Virginia. And his mom and I just had their house built, and it's beautiful. It's in the country, and it overlooks a valley, and it's very picturesque. But the point I guess I'm trying to get to is my dad, even no matter how downtrodden we were, or how poor we were, how much money we didn't have, he would always find a way to make ends meet, and he would always find a way to make us happy. So for that, I'm very happy. I'm very grateful because it allows me to have the outlook that I have now. Um, Saying my dad's retired, I have two older brothers, so he has um, 7 grandchildren now, and he's living the good life, and he does pretty much whatever he wants to do now because he has no set schedule, which is pretty nice, I guess. When I get to be his age, I hope I'll be able to do that. But my dad, he always inspired me to be a better person and to take care of my family, because even when times got tough, he always pulled through, and that's something that I live by today. And that's why I feel like he's an inspiration to me, and he's always been there, and hopefully he'll be there for many more years to come. Thank you for listening to my speech, and have a good day. Bye.